Go down with a visual of one vertebra at a time. Now once you get down, we'll take a full body stretch. Like you just woke up, you're reaching through your fingers, you're reaching through your toes, you're moving your ankles in circles, and then a point flex, and then shift through your back. Breathe in, and then we're going to take our hands down, slide the feet up. They're on the floor. Inhale with 4 corners of pressure. Curl your low back up. We're waking up that back. And then try to do the one vertebra at a time cue we talked about earlier. Peel up. Think about both feet even, so 50% of your weight's in one foot, 50% in the other. Both hamstrings and glutes are on. 3. Exhale. Good. 4. When you go up, you're feeling like your hips are even. And then do one more. Now on the 5th one, when you're up, if you would like to add on the hands coming underneath you and walk in the shoulder blade flush, you can. So you're going to hold that for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Now release your hands and then try to roll down a vertebra at a time. And we're going to take our hands to the inner feet or the inner ankles and let the knees be wide so you have a little butterfly. This is a little right-left movement. We're going to do the butterfly or bound angle, and we're going to do the happy baby. So just sort of open up the feet. You might rock right, left. Now, if you feel like you can be a little bit more flexible, bend one knee a little, or straighten one knee a little bit, and then straighten the other one. So kind of touch the, inner thigh hamstrings. 5. And then if you can take them out a little longer, go for it. Both of them. 5, 4, 3, 2, inhale. Now we're coming back to the left foot being on, the right ankle being on the thigh. Now you're in a little bit of a hip opener, and you're going to go to 5 hip lifts with the single foot on the floor. And we're still articulating the spine. 4, and then 5. Now we're going to do this other one. So the other foot's down, the other ankle's up, and curl up. So think about opening up the back. Think about opening up the hip. Breathing in and out. And then let the other foot down. Now your left foot's down and your right leg's going to point up. Notice you've got a little hamstring stretch. Lift up your hips. Keep the hips up on this one. Lower your leg. You can flex and you can point. 5. We're touching those hamstrings. 4. We're warming up all the joints. 3. Also the nerves are getting some flossing. 2. One more. Really point and flex, and then let that foot down and switch it up so the left leg is pointing up, and then you're going to flex down the foot, point up, flex down. Feel a little stretch. Feel your ankles working. 4. Inhale. And then on that 5th one, we're going to let that foot down. Inhale. Lower down. Right ankle to left thigh, stretch, and if you need a little prop under your head to keep your neck neutral, you could grab a pillow. Otherwise, maybe a little rock or some ankle movements. You can feel mine are still a little tight. How do yours feel? 5, 4, 3, 2, inhale, and then as you're ready, we're going to go to the other side, ankle to thigh. All right, reach your hands through. And then again, you may want to rock or move your ankles or your toes. Hips are so helpful for the back, hip openers. The ankle flexibility is so helpful for the back as well. And balance. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now we're going to put the left leg very long and lift up the right leg like a hamstring stretch, hands on the floor. Draw 5 large circles one way. Breathe in, breathe out through your nose if you can. 3, shoulders stay glued to the mat. 4. I'm doing as big a circle as I can. big synovial fluid for the motion, go the other way. So you're getting some lotion on the inside of your joints. You're pumping lymph. There's some nice lymph nodes right there near your inguinal crease, and we know that helps with immunity. And 2, good. And we're happy. We're getting our happy hormone fix as we move our body. Now hold on to that same leg that you just worked and just do a little point flex, point flex, point flex, maybe some ankle rolls and ankle rolls. And then we're going to let that down. And the left leg or the other leg, the one you didn't work, comes up. You're going to shoot for 5 circles of as big as you can. And there's a little ab tone you can tell because, go the other way, because when your leg is lower, you can feel like your ribs would pull up if you weren't in your abdominal stabilizing your bones to the floor. On that 5th one, keep the leg up. Now, if you want, you can point flex that foot, that ankle. You can roll the ankle. You can roll it the other way. Good job. 5. And then we're going to hug both legs in. Rock a little. And I'm going to have us pop up to grab a sip to come to a different block of exercises. So once you're up, grab your sip. We're doing some belly downs. So belly downs are really great for preventing forward head, preventing rounded upper back. So the first one is going to be an offer of Sphinx. Notice how the shoulder blades are down the back. You have a little belly lift. Take a big breath here. This is sort of a warm up for the back and also just a way to know you can come back to something if you need a modification. Gorgeous. Now we're coming up. So you can push your hands into the floor or mat. Now we're higher. The elbows still point down, but you're up higher in the air. 10, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, gorgeous. 8, upper back is also getting the breath. 9, lower down. We're going to do that again. So you can choose, would you like to do Sphinx or would you like to come up to a higher swan? And you might even walk your hands in closer to your body if you feel like you've gotten a little bit more flexible. Looking good. Look at that upper back, guys. And note, when you pull your head back, that's helping that forward head syndrome. We're preventing it. So that looks really good. I like what I see. 5, 4, there's that breath helping. Everything helps. 3, you're not letting the head kind of sag towards the floor. 2, and then lower. Very good. All right, guys, we're going to do it one more time. This is either Sphinx or Swan. And the way you help that prevention of forward head is you're making sure the head doesn't droop to the floor here. You're retracting it. Yes. So that looks good. What I see is the ears in line with the shoulder with everyone I have in view. There's that little energy in the neck retractors. Hold here. We're also, of course, we're working on that upper back. 5, 4, 3, 2, inhale. Now we're lowering down and you can take a child's pose, or if you need a toe under child's pose, you can take that here. And then grab a sip and we'll meet in all fours quadruped. And I took another workshop yesterday and it was on building speed, but some of the ones that we did were what you and I are going to do right now. So this helps the foundation of all of the sports and all our functional movements. So this opposite arm, opposite leg, sometimes called bird dog, is important for sports. So if you hike or you're horseback riding, all those things help. So imagine a bird dog, your right arm and your left leg go out, and I want you to notice your low back doesn't droop. You don't rock wildly to one side. Your head doesn't droop. Now lower that down and try the other side. Keep your ear in line with your shoulder. Yeah, everyone looks integrated. You might be able to lengthen your back leg more, Betty, just like a longer knee. Yep, that's it. Can you feel that? That's more aligned. And then come down. And very good. All right, try again. And I'm just cueing you to go at your own speed, but long enough to pause so that you can check your cues and then come down. I don't want to make you feel rushed. Yeah, better. Better already. And barely chin tuck, Betty, just the tiniest bit. Barely chin tuck. Yeah, keep your head retracted, but you're looking probably down above the fingers. Opposite arm, opposite leg, and it is harder if you lift your toes. So keep your body integrated. In other words, your lower back doesn't droop, your head doesn't droop, you don't rock wildly to one side. So it's kind of like you know how to stabilize your core. And it's a balance drill, especially when you take the toes and the shin off the floor. Take one more each. Head keeps pulling back. That's a really important cue for preventing forward head. One more. And then recover. Nice job, guys. Now I'm going to have us take a little, take a reprieve. And child's pose was just fine. And then I'm going to have us sit like a little mermaid, which is 2 triangles. Now I've got, you can do it which way you want, but I've got my right leg, right foot pointed behind me, my left foot's on my right thigh. One of 2 ways. So Karen, you might like the hand down on this side. You can also do this. Yep. And what you've been doing all this time, when you do lateral flexion, you're helping this shoulder not be rounded forward. Also, so if I were to stretch like this, I would hurt forward head, right? I would contribute to it, but I'm pulling it back even in these stretches. So my ear's in line with my shoulder. So this is just testament that you guys have been working on this. And there's those little cues that help. Now rotate down. That's helpful for your back. Breathe into your rib cage. Open up the obliques. And imagine you want to expand. You can think of an accordion. You want to expand this rib cage like an accordion. And you're breathing into that side. Now we're going to keep the legs. This hand that's in the air goes behind and you're looking over your shoulder. Rotational flexibility is critical to help prevent forward rounded upper back. Now keep for your head cue, your ears in line with your shoulder, your jaws pulling back like there's a little bit of stinky cheese in front of your nose. And then you're going to come forward and you might feel like you're sort of rotated over here still. So we're going to even it up. The other leg, so for example, the right foot's now on the left thigh. The left toes are kind of pointing back. And if you need a modification, one hand can be down. If you can tolerate it, go over. Your hand can reach for that knee. And it's like you're going up and over. Now notice nobody's head's forward. That's wonderful. So even in our stretches, or especially because this few times we're like really paying attention to form, so this is an ideal time to work on the prevention of forward head. You're strengthening these neck retractors. You're preventing the shoulder from rounding forward because you're stretching that out. Rotate down. Breathe into the rib cage and imagine an accordion opening up. Breathe into the rib cage up high, so imagine an accordion opening up. It's so good for posture. The arm that is in the air is going to go up behind you, and maybe your fingertips are like teepees on the floor, or maybe you can touch all the way, but you're going to rotate. Keep trying to rotate your upper back. And this is such a good exercise for posture. Your head's retracted. That's beautiful. Good. No one's poking their head forward. You're tall. Your head's in alignment here. Micro rotations happening with the exhale. And then coming back. Nice job. So this is how you work on forward posture, forward head prevention. I love it. Grab a sip. We're going to go on. into some articulation. Good job. I hope you realize how much work you've been doing on this already. This is just great. You can fine tune it and make it more applicable. The next one is going to be a couple of options. Spinal articulation is important for just basic functional fitness in youth. So functional youth. So you may think of you're as young as your spine. So if you're in all fours and you curl your lumbar spine under, you're going to feel like you want to give every vertebra some attention. And then you're going to inhale and lift up. Your shoulder blades glide down the back, and then you're going to tuck your lumbar spine. You're going to feel the middle of your back. You're going to feel your upper back, and you tuck your chin because that's the cervical spine. You're probably looking at your belly here. And then you start lifting your sit bones, lumbar, middle, upper. Now you can keep doing this because it's a fabulous stretch, or if you want to do a little bit harder, it's a down dog, up dog articulation for about 5 reps. So you'll feel your calves stretch, you'll lift your heels, and then you try to think about lumbar, middle, upper, and then you go into an up dog, and then you tuck, cervical, upper, middle, lower, heels. Lift your heels, lumbar, middle, upper. Breathe in. Tuck, lumbar, cervical, thoracic, lumbar. Just work at your own pace. Try to slow down or focus on any areas that you know are tight on you. So a lot of people struggle with low back, so you can always just slow down there. We've got about 1 more. Breathe in. Tuck. And then calves, and then rest. When you're down here, hips back, and you can bend the elbows and get those triceps. Nice job. And then grab a sip if you'd like. We're going to touch a little bit of our planks. We're going to do a 30-second challenge on a front plank. If that's not for you, maybe do 10, pause, come back, 10. Try to make it to where it works for you and where you are. So I'm going to use this little clock on the wall. Start setting up. Get ready. On your mark, get set, and go for 30. Front plank. Your head is pulling back in line with the ear in line with the shoulder, so we're not letting it droop. This is a great place to practice forward head prevention. All right, so it's 5, 10, that's already 15, already 20. It's already 25. And that's already 30. Now rest for a minute, either Sphinx or Swan or Child Pose. Good, Betty. Breathe in. And then we'll take one side plank and take a 20-second challenge. Get ready on your mark. Get set. And then go and hold. Good. 5. Head back on this too, right? Because it's preventing forward head. 10 and upper back expanding. 15. Feel these obliques. And then 20. Good. All right, so I'm actually using a timer this time instead of my own internal count. We're going to do the other side. So it's kind of nice to have objectifiable numbers you can hit. 3, 2, 1, and this is a 20-second challenge. Head back, strong arms. 5, I like to stretch my fingers as well. 10, good. 15, and 20, really nice. Now this is a reverse plank or a reverse table. So the reverse table would be a feet on the floor lift. And if you're doing the reverse plank, let's give it a 20, 3, 2, 1, go. You choose. Oh yeah, or bound angle. Good. So 5, 10, hang in there, guys. 15 here, 5 more seconds. Inhale and lower down. Hot dog. All right, grab a hand forward, stretch out the forearm, shoulder blades down the back. Nice. Stretch out the forearm, fingers down. Pull the fingers back. And then pull the fingers back. 6, 7, 8, 9, and nice job. A little massage. This is also getting the carpals, something you can do anytime during the day. Now prayer pose down, palms separate. Nice job. We're going to head down and touch the muscles that grab a sip that complement walking and sagittal plane. So we're going to touch the outer hips and the inner thighs. These also help with bone density and with balance. So you're going to be up on your forearm. And if you need a modification, you can lie down on the side, but you're going to be up on your forearm. This leg is going to point, draw circles while lifting. 2, up through the ribs. 3, 4, good. Stay tall. 5, this shoulder blade's down the back. Your head's back against the imaginary wall, so you're not letting it scoop forward. Flex and go the other way. So 10, lift up. 2, feel your waist help you. 3, yep, keep lifting. 4, 5, we want some strength here. 6, 7, 8, 9, lifting. 10. Now the bottom leg, take your arm like a pillow, the top leg's out of the way. I'm going to have us point that leg, draw large circles. Feel your waist. Go as high as you can with your thigh. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Go the other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Hot dog. Now we're going to do a little bonus. Just go up 10 times, and I want you to think about gluing the legs together so the ankles are neutral. Try to go up high. Feel this. Waist, hip, inner thigh. 8, 9. Now to transition, we're going to do belly down, and your hands are like a pillow. Lift up both legs and flutter kick them about 20 for hamstring glute. Then tap the feet together. About 20. And then head to the other side. Good job, guys. So what we're doing is hip strengthening, and this complements your sagittal plane movements like walking, running, hiking. Okay, so forward, up. We want to build bone density right here because this is a vulnerable bone to fractures. So we're trying to get this bone dense. Forward head prevention. I love it. It's like your head's against a wall. Now you're going to go the other way. Lift up here. This shoulder blade's down the back. Good. 5. When you're up like this on your arm, your leg will feel heavier. 7. That's good for building bone density. Now this arm is going to be a pillow. This leg's going to be in front. And the bottom leg, you're going to feel your waist pull off the floor. And then point. You want to feel how high, can you go higher? This inner thigh is important to go up hills, hiking up hills, uneven terrain, negotiating uneven terrain, balance. And go the other way. Lift up. Good. Up steep stairs. Good, and then what we do is that 20 and 20, so belly down, hands underneath the head, like a forehead rest or a cheek rest. Flutter the legs about 20. Tap the feet together, 20. And then come on back, child pose. So push your hips back, take a little breather. Inhale. Nice job, guys. And then come on back. Grab a sip. Whew, you're doing great. The next block is going to be upper back posture, thoracic extension, forward head syndrome prevention, all that stuff. So this is the whole block, really good for counterposing activities. So I always feel like this is the missing link in a lot of fitness programs, so we kind of dog it, we go after it. So the hands are here, the knees are here, and then one foot comes up. So it's a half bow, it's a Dhanurasana, left hand to that foot and try to open up. You can see I'm trying to retract my head. Good, just do the best you can. Your head's retracted. Yep, yeah, no, nice head by the way. No one's drooping in the head or neck. 5, 4, 3, 2. Now the hands and knee come down. You might feel like you're a table at first and you reach for your foot and your hand and then you lift up that thigh, then you lift up your upper back, you pull your head back. So you went from a table to sort of a bow pose. Lift and breathe and let that head retract. Yep, 4, 3, 2. And then recover any way you need to. It might just be just a little child's pose. Great job. And we're going to come down. And if you need to sip, grab it. It's going to be a little longer belly down series. Now the hands are out of the way, which means your back and your neck are the more pure lifters, the more active primary muscles. So you can act like you're a rocket ship. Fingers reach to the toes. Inhale, lift up your ribs and your arms. And your head's retracted. Feel that? That looks good. You might even lift your toes. That's it. So it's going to be a little harder if you do that. 10, 9, recover, and we're doing it again. Get ready. The thing I like about this is it's just you. It's just pure back. Here we go. Back body. Here we go. That posterior chain. Every time you inhale, you notice you go up a little. And relax. Now, I'm going to have a windshield wipe here. If you need a child's pose, take it. The next one is that you are a swim. And one way to do it is kind of wide in the arms. If you feel like your upper traps are kind of near your ears, just draw your shoulder blades down. Right arm, left leg lift. Left arm, right leg lift. Right arm, left leg. Left arm, right leg. And I've got my head up, so I'm not looking up at the sky and lifting my chin, but I've retracted the head, so I'm working those neck muscles. That's it. Opposite arm and leg, and if you want it harder, the opposite arm and leg are all off, everything's off the floor, and then you lift those limbs. Inhale, inhale, exhale, exhale. And then relax, bend those knees, recover a bit. The next one is breaststroke, and it's a circular motion. You're still very pure in your back strength because you're lifting out without putting your hands on the floor to help you get higher. So take 10 of those. You can flutter kick your legs if you want to add on. And then recover for a moment, maybe a little windshield wipe. If you want a child's pose, take it. And if you would like, hold on to those ankles or those feet. We're going to do a bow pose after all here. And it can be 2 sets. So you can do 2 sets with 2 feet or 1 hand and 1 foot each. All right, grab something. Here we go. Come up when you're ready. Bow. Good. Nice head retraction. Recover, and then either do the other foot or do 2 again. Exhale, child pose, or yeah, puppy dog pose, whatever serves your back. Nice job. Grab a sip. Nice job, guys. We're going to be doing a little bit of arm strengthening. And I want you to honor your wrist. One way you can do this is to do 10 push-ups up on the wall. Another way is you could do all 4 push-ups. You could do a knee push. So when I say all 4, it's kind of like the table that we do, or the quadruped, or you could do knees, or you could do toes. So find a way that helps you. You can do standing up push-ups against the wall too. 1, 2, 3, 4, head retracts, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, and then recover. And you can sit any way you want to. I'm just going to offer us a posture stretch after that. So one hand is behind you, trying to reach up. One hand's coming overhead, trying to reach down. Try to get your ribs over your pelvis and your head. Your head will touch that arm, won't it? Because it's in an ear in line with the shoulder. Another way to say that head cue is nose behind the sternum. And I like everybody's retracted. No one is doing this compensatory motion of a chin lift. Now the other, try to work your fingers towards each other. You can always use a Dynaband if you're not able to. Reach. Good. Lift up. 10. Yeah, make sure your right side's not drooping at all. Lift up through your ribs. Yep, 5. Full breath, 4. Inhale. Now either a prayer pose behind you, which is harder posture, or prayer pose ahead of you if it's just not happening. So here we go. Palms. I'm going to turn so you can see me. Open up the shoulders still. Inhale. And I'm going to give us a little knocking on the door of life, but here. Terrific. I'm going to have us do 1 set of 21s and then a foam roller release. So if you have your foam roller, just to get it handy, we'll do the 21s first. 21s is 21 planks in a row. It's a little bit of a cardio challenge. So when you're ready, I'll count it. We're going to do a front plank and get your head in a good place too. So that's 1. And then when you flip side plank, your head's retracted. That's 2. Then you're going to go to front plank. This is 3. Then you're going to open up to side plank, 4. Come into front plank, 5. Open up side plank, 6. Now front plank, 7. Open up, 8. Front plank, 9. Open up, 10. Good. Front plank, 11. Head back. Side plank, 12. Front plank, 13. Open up, 14. Front plank, 15. Head back. Side plank, 16. Front plank, 17. Open up, 18. Front plank, 19. 20 and 21. All right, take a little lift with your torso, stretch out those abs we just worked. 10, All right, girls. All right, if grab your foam roller, and I'm going to meet you back for some areas that tend to need some attention. One way to get the hips is to take the figure 4 while you're on your roller. And you can see I have my knuckle turned under, so if your wrist wants a little bit more support, you could think sit bone towards high ilium. Sit bone. Sit bone. Kind of, if you move around, you'll find a lot of places. Can't go wrong. And 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and then 1. You can switch sides. And experiment. Experience, what do you need? What ways get you the best? Nice. Get that high ilium, roll out to the side greater trochanter. Near your sit bone will have some areas. And 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, breathing, 2, and then 1. Now you can choose any side of your IT you want. But if you've experienced side hip pain or side knee pain, this is sometimes, I can tell we need it. So the IT can sometimes hurt your hip joint or your knee joint and not tell you. It won't say it's tight, or it won't feel like your lateral leg's tight, but it'll tell you it'll make your hip and knee tight. So just sort of roll that out. And it's a long femur, so from your hip towards your knee, but you're not on your knee. If you roll up a little bit, you get the back of that hamstring as well as your IT. Tends to be tight. You know that stretch we do where we do the hamstring and we cross the midline? That's kind of hitting it here. And then if you roll down a little, rotate down, you're going to feel like your outer quad's also getting it. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, let's hit the other side. Good. Sometimes I like to just check. The leg's longer. Okay, grab your forearm down. And you're keeping your Pilates form. You know, you're not letting your head poke forward or your shoulder disengage. You can even retract your head a little. And yeah, nice. Isn't that neat, Betty? It's like these tiny little ways throughout life you can sort of integrate your Pilates cue. A workout without working out, right? So side hip and towards your hip, towards your knee, but not on the knee. And then if you rotate up a little bit, you'll feel a little more outer hamstring. You'll still feel IT. You know, the muscles aren't perfectly segmented away from each other. There's some fascia that you're getting. You can hit both of them. And if you rotate forward a little bit like you're headed towards the floor or looking down, it's more, a little bit more of that lateral quad. See if you notice anything tight, and just, you can imagine how that's going to help free up the knee a little to not have so much tension around it. It'll move a little easier. You'll be able to react a little better because the muscles aren't tight. The opposite muscle works better because it's not reciprocally inhibited. So get anywhere you need. 5, 4, 3, and then we're going to go to the forearms where both quads get it. And if the front of your knees feel tight sometimes, this should help. This will help. Now, turn out your legs like you're Charlie Chaplin in the feet. You can toe in like you're pigeon-toed or duck-footed, and you'll feel how it changes your quads. And then you can also do like a bend in knee and straighten. Another trick is to kind of lean more on the right quad, or get the right quad a little bit more. Or the left quad a little bit more. You're gathering information. Up near the front pocket is a TFL muscle, and it's often tight. So kind of near your front pocket. And then try both front pockets, both TFLs. Five, 4, 3, 2, and then 1. You guys are doing great. Grab a sip just to keep on that path of 8 to 12 ounces and to keep hydrating. We're going to do the upper back next. The upper back is sort of like a bridge. Your feet are on the floor. You lift up your hips. Your hands are in your head. And then you roll. Now you could roll a little extension. You could do flexion. You could do both extension, flexion. And 5, 4, 3, 2, and you could roll a little right and then a little left just to make sure you're getting all the areas. And then when you turn sideways, so I'm going to turn to you, there's this muscle that's very accessible on the underside of the arm, the back of the arm, the lat twist. And it's a strong internal rotator so that when that muscle's tight, it turns our arm in. So we're trying to get this part that's accessible because it goes along the whole back, and you'd have to be rolling out your ribs to get a lot of it. So right here, it is accessible. And this is really important because if it's near the arm, so if it's tight, it powerfully turns the arm in. So what we're doing is releasing some tension, so it's easier for you to have your shoulders open, like anatomical neutral, and to combat the stresses of forward arms in our daily life. You might also get rear deltoid or teres minor, and just kind of explore. 10. Now the breath. 9. 8. So this also contributes to low back pain. If the low back feels tight, sometimes it can be from the lat because it'll jam everything down because it attaches upper body to lower here, upper arm to sacrum. All right, get ready. 5, 4, 3, 2. Inhale. Now, before we do the other side, just do a quick little experiment and put an arm up. How's it feel? Notice. Now try the other side. Feels like there's a piece of gum, like a 6-inch piece of gum right here. So, and I don't even feel tight. So it's just kind of neat. That's what you want to feel, because then you'll say, what do I need? If I'm feeling really forward headed one day or forward back, I can do this stretch, or I can do this release, or, oh, that one's tight. Ah. Okay, so what I'm doing is trying to find a way that my hand can help my head. That's what this is, so that we don't get a neck strain trying to help our arm and our back. So experiment. If you roll back, does that help get that shoulder, that deltoid, or there's that lat? And your arm that's dominant might be tighter than your arm that's not. But you know, you never want to assume. I always like to check. You never know. I did grip strength yesterday, and I found I was stronger in my left hand yesterday when I just did a squeeze. So you never know. You just sort of give each attention. And also, we're going to breathe. So we're going to breathe in the nose if you can, and breathe out the nose if you can. Find that lat that needs attention. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and then come on up and let me give you the, just try the, sit however you want. Just see if it feels a little better than it did. Just see if it feels a little better. Nice. And then we're going to get the inner thigh. I've had a couple of you guys reach out about this. So, you know, we do frog pose, and then we do frog kind of with one leg, only one leg. So let me turn so you can see me. One leg's long. So let's say my left leg's long, like plank. Now my forearms are down on the mat. Take your right knee. See how it's kind of like frog? Lift up if you want. You're going to roll out that inner thigh. Yep. Get the roller perpendicular to your inner thigh, and then kind of move right and left 3 or 4 inches. There. See if you feel that inner thigh. 10, 9, we'll just touch it. 8, 7, 6, 5. That should feel good, Karen, because one of those attaches to the inner knee, the sartorius. All right, try the other one, and then you put that foam roller kind of perpendicular, and your other toes, so in this case my right toes are up, kind of like I'm doing a plank, and then I'm rolling out the left inner thigh like a little bit of a frog pose, but I'm rolling out that frog pose. 10, 9, kind of feel it near the knee. That sartorius muscle, the longest muscle in the body, the talar muscle, it attaches on that anterior medial condyle on the knee, and so it kind of can create, where the goose's foot, there's 3 attachments there, it can make you feel like the inner knee hurts. So we're just gonna, if you feel it's sensitive, you might roll it out more. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So I could feel one more than the other. Now I'm going to give us a posture stretches. I'm going to have it long ways. You may need a prop or a pillow, you know, something. You may not. And the easiest one, I've had people get a foam roller after being in class, and this is the one that they do the first and the most. So an example could just be arms out, like a Y or a T. And some of you might like a bound angle with your legs. That a girl, that's good, Betty. And then try to feel everything let go. I'm using a half a yoga block underneath my upper back just because my arms are long and I don't feel it as much anymore unless I put a little extra prop underneath my upper back. But find out, what do you need, and then try to relax into it. and take an inhale. And then an exhale to come up, and we're going to do the other. So this is a little bit more dominant on that upper back. If you turn it sideways, and then you can let your head rest. So this should feel like a little deeper, a little bigger. Full breath. Tuck the chin, grab the foam roller at the sacral end. You may like a little Pilates ring or a band. You can do this without a band, but I know so many of you like hamstring stretches, so we're doing both. And also it helps the low back. Isn't that nice? Pour that one leg to the floor. And yes, and lengthen that other leg up. You can move it across the midline. You can take it out. And you can also switch it up. Now, I often have to change the sacral, the foam roller because I've rolled a little, so if you need to, don't hesitate to adjust. And the more normal hamstring stretch will be first. Pour the other leg down. Take that across, see if there's a little outer hamstring you can feel. Take it to the outer, maybe inner thigh area, outer hamstring, inner hamstring. Both of those legs are going to be in a psoas stretch for a moment, and you may have to adjust the roller a little lower, like where the glute meets the hamstring. And then we're going to end up putting the feet on the floor. If you would care to do one more pose, if you're happy where you are, just stay. And if you want the legs up, Viparita Karini, you're going to come up. Here we go. Now whenever you're ready, you can release that foam roller and come back towards a seated position. And let me just see how everybody's feeling. Release tension, and this is a posture. Have a seat where you feel like your ribs are over your pelvis, your shoulders are relaxed down the back, your crown is lifted. So from the sides, your nose would be behind your sternum or ear in line with the shoulder, jawline parallel to the floor. And that's sort of setting your tone of your posture for the rest of the day. Now breathe in that way. Belly, ribs, and heart. Just take a moment to notice how it feels. The posture helps the mood. The posture helps the breathing be full, which helps energy. So we're just going to notice how powerful we have little ways